There is plenty to think about before you buy a home computer.
Electronic games being heralded by folks in the trade as this year's holiday bestseller.
There is plenty to think about before you buy a home computer.
Electronic games being heralded by folks in the trade as this year's holiday bestseller.
We clearly have technical things to work out, ladies and gentlemen. That's okay. I had this whole thing planned, and then it didn't work. It just goes so hard. It was supposed to be loud, Cujo. If it's too loud, you're too old, as they say. Now that's too loud. Jesus. Woo! First casualty of war is always the plan. You are correct. Is this where we critique you? The thing is, I ran through that so many times and things keep going wrong, including we have our AC on at the moment. I typically try to keep it going a little bit less during the streams, but a couple hours ago, the power company came and swapped our meters and it had to turn off power for a second. And I don't know if my studio was just without power for a little while longer than the rest of the house or what the hell happened. But I came in here and it was 87 degrees. And so it's still running because it's still like 85 or something. It was freaking toasty, man. Welcome to the floppity launch here. Something always goes wrong, but that's fine. That intro... that music goes so hard. That is officially my own custom created theme song by my community manager, Will. Absolutely solid. That thing goes super hard. We got more to come from that, but freaking awesome. Name of the new show, Floppity Launch. Yeah. Welcome to Stream Theory, my new live show. We're going to be doing every other Tuesday-ish. Maybe we're going to have to have a hiatus at some point to realign the weeks, because this week will also be a streamer news week, and I don't want to have the whole point of doing every other week is so I don't have two of the same kinds of streams on the same week. So this week will be a double doozy, but moving forward they'll kind of alternate weeks, kind of like we did with AFK chat, but AFK chat was every week after a certain point. And this is going to be my new stream show. We're starting it here on Twitch. We're seeing how it goes doing it specifically here on Twitch, and we may branch out elsewhere. We were experimenting with some things on the stream last night. This is going to be a multifaceted show. We've got a couple different segments, and while we're just starting out here, before we get into those segments, I can go on and show off some of the graphics, I suppose. We have things like this.
You may proceed.
And this.
Prepare.
And this.
The work environment sucks, but I bet the benefits are nice.
And this. And of course, my camera angles just decide to randomly not work. What in the world? Welcome to streaming, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when you test everything and then you go live and everything immediately stops working and you have to deactivate and reactivate your sources. Bam! We've got the lovely side angle with the studio bokeh. Bokeh! I've got a hair sticking off my chin apparently. Where is that? There we go. Nope. Hello? Look here, cat hair. There we go. Don't have cats if you don't like hair. And then, of course, we do have the overhead cam, which isn't going to work either till I deactivate and reactivate it. I don't know why. Literally, it was working right before I went live, so I don't know why all this is happening. So we're going to do some openings and stuff later in the show, some unboxings, and we do have the back cam, which, again, I got to come in here and manually enable for some reason. That one looks pretty cool, and it doesn't work at all. So, cool. We're just not going to worry about that one. I got to go replug it and plug it back in. Maybe I'll do it during a commercial break. Always a good stream when there's tech issues. You know it. Welcome, welcome. So we got graphics. We got other stuff I'll show you as we get through the show. Lots of cool stuff. New transitions, which hopefully don't screech at you too much. If they do, we got to take note and try to fix them. Do you all do all those stingers, or do you have a guy that does them? So the show intro little stinger things that I showed were all me. It was a lot of fun. Basically, this show was supposed to launch in August, and it didn't because I spent forever making the graphics and planning it instead of doing it. Super shout out to the ISORB for the 5 tier 1 sub gifts right off the bat. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, we got a baller in the house, taking it up a notch. By the way, it is currently September, so if you don't feel inclined to subscribe on other platforms, it is 20% off all subs and gifted subs. So if you've been wanting to drop a big load like ISORB did, that came out completely wrong. September is the month to do it in. If you don't have tech issues while streaming, your setup is too boring. 100% agree. Anyway, gonna ignore that phrasing I put out there a minute ago. So welcome to the show. Just as a little bit of housekeeping, since we haven't done a little stream in a little while, catching up on the channel, assuming everything works here since stuff isn't working in place. We're on the internet, Mom. Catching up on videos on the channel since the last stream. Of course, we do have some wonderful nuggets like my how to build a live stream show where we walked through how I built this show, how I planned it, how I developed the segments for it, how I developed the plan, and where I plan on distributing it, and how you can do so for yourself. Shout out to T Queen OS for the tier 1 sub. And of course, my stream labels are all out of order, but that's okay. Actually, the stream labels app isn't even running at the moment because my power went out, so we'll fix that up. That'll get you all updated here. Like I said, everything worked great, and then it didn't. I haven't figured out how to lock the text label sizes so they fit just yet. But yeah, this is part of the new Nerd or Die Stream OS layout that is actually inspired by yours truly, and you'll see me in a really sick commercial for it at some point when they get there. This is actually a modification of one of the layouts. I added the Netscape Navigator stuff. But anyway, this has been a big multi-part series. I believe part 3 is the last episode that came out. Part 4 will be this Thursday, and then part 5 will be next week, and that'll be the main part. We just hit a hype train with the Derek Smith Prime sub. T Queen with the tier 1. Derek's been 2 months. Slashy101 with the tier 1 sub, getting the level 3 hype train going, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We also have a couple videos about OBS scripts. So we talk about plugins a lot on this channel, but not scripts. And scripts are using Python or Lua scripting to modify OBS, either the UI itself or add in functionality. There's like tools to build layouts and things like that. All of that is covered in here. This was a 3-part series. 1 and 2 are up. Part 3 will be up next week. Of course, OBS 27.1 release candidate has come into play with YouTube integration. So we talked about that. We talked about my new audio interface over at my main desk setup, the PreSonus Revelator IO24. And that's about it for that channel. Of course, I am making a big hard push. If you are interested in the Pokemon trading card game, be it for nostalgia, collecting, playing, whatever, go check out my YouTube channel, HoloQuest. Bam, dropping that in chat. Bam, bam. This is a channel where I do Pokemon card openings, mystery boxes, and I will be learning the game soon, where I will be able to, I have redeemed codes for like 700 packs or something, although only like 400 worked. So I got like 400 packs to open, and then we're going to start actually logging time in the game and trying to actually play it, and that should be freaking awesome. Super shout out to Slinky Zinky with the Prime sub. Woo! Yeah, we do lots of card openings, things like that. We also do some streams on this channel, and that will be part of the end of this stream as well. But my videos and my higher produced stuff goes up on there, and I will be doing some cool stuff soon. I am currently in the process of hiring out editors for that channel so it can kind of run itself. So be sure to go check that out if you haven't already. Just checking my notes to make sure I haven't missed anything, because everything's going out of whack, so I want to make sure that everything's going. Oh, we're not done yet. We have a couple things to talk about that I already forgot about because this week has been, or I guess today's Tuesday. The past week has been so wild. So we're going to switch to this view while I go and grab the stuff that I need to. Whee! We have a tale of cameras, new and old. First, the new camera. So this is my primary camera that I typically have been using for my webcam setup over there at the desk. This is the Sony a7C, and this is the Sony G Master lens 24mm f1.4. Very expensive lens. We had the hurricane pass through here, and while we didn't get hit too terribly hard, we did have some power surging. And despite the fact that I have had my entire career of good luck of never having power surge issues, I had two victims, one being the power supply to my Elgato ring light that I use overhead for the unboxings. The other, as dumb as that sounds, the other being this lens. You see, Sony lenses, unlike many companies and unlike vintage lenses and the like, are entirely electronic. So aperture control, focusing, literally to manual focus is electronic, and adjusting the aperture. And so I came up and went to record a video the other day with my main camera setup after the storm went through, and as far as I can tell, the power didn't even flicker that much at all. Did I just knock my microphone out again? Are we doing this? Are we doing this? No, I didn't. Nope. And the aperture wouldn't adjust, but focusing was working. So I pull it off, put it onto another camera body, had a A6400, was able to flick the D-click switch off and on a few times, and suddenly that woke it back up. Aperture was adjusting. Auto aperture was working. All right, slap it back on the A7C, seemed to be working, put it up in my webcam slot, and it was dead again. And this time, focusing didn't work either. Autofocus or manual focus. Electronically, this lens is completely dead, which means since it's an entirely electronic lens, because someone thought that was a good idea, it's a brick. And it's exactly to the day when it died, it was exactly 3 months out of warranty. I don't know how it's acceptable for a $1,000+ product to only have a 1-year warranty, and I know that applies to many things, and I find it unacceptable for all those things. But at some point this week, I have to call a repair center and see how much it's going to cost to replace this lens. Thankfully, I'm in a grateful enough position that I had another A6400 with a Sigma 16mm that basically looks the same that I was able to swap into place. No one's going to notice, but I was going to use that camera for other things. Really freaking frustrating, and it's kind of ridiculous that warranties don't last so long. What's weirder about this is for this lens to have been the exit point, a power surge would have had to go through so many things. We got a hype train success level 2, ladies and gentlemen. We'll share our hype train emote because this camera is powered by a dummy battery, but that dummy battery is USB powered, which was plugged into a computer monitor. Now, at my previous apartment setup, I had UPSs for everything, universal or uninterruptible power supplies, not universal, which allowed for everything to be on those. And I had a couple die at one point as we were moving, and it just seemed kind of ridiculous. And I have never once in my life had a power surge issue actually take out electronics. And so I did not buy extra ones at the new studio to kind of fill those roles because it didn't seem like there was any point or that it would be remotely necessary. The monitors were not on a UPS, but also the monitors were on a ground fault outlet. The ground fault outlet definitely tripped when the power went out, or flickered. So the ground fault outlet was supposed to protect everything, and as far as I can tell, has been doing its job to protect everything in general, but that power surge went through the ground fault outlet, which flicked off on its own, through a surge protector, into a computer monitor, through its USB port, into the camera, out to the lens. The camera's completely fine. Other lenses on it work completely fine. Just this lens was the exit point, which blew up apparently. So bizarre. And like I said, the only thing that I have found that may have also died is the power supply for my Elgato ring light, and I don't know for certain that it's dead yet. I just know I could not get it to turn on, and I was hoping it wasn't the ring light that was dead. I swapped power supplies and it works. Could be it just wasn't waking up or something, and swapping the power supplies, you know, reset the power and everything. So weirdest, unfortunate scenario, and I just hope to hell whatever repair center Sony told me to contact isn't going to charge me an arm and a leg, given it was already a pretty expensive lens. But in greater news, I have been posting on Twitter that I have been experimenting more with film photography. I usually shoot with a Minolta 35mm film camera. I have purchased my first medium format. This is the Mamiya 645 1000S. Lovely little camera, and I finally have my first results back from it. I only have a few photos to share here. Honestly, I am having a ton of trouble focusing with this, both because I was trying to shoot wide open, which the aperture, you know, the thin plane of focus for normal lenses are even worse on medium format because the sensor's bigger, your plane of focus is smaller, whatever. And so I do have a couple photos to share here if I can find the right button on my Stream Deck. Did I not make a button on my Stream Deck? I don't think I did. We're going to address that. Zach Busey with the, I hope I say that right. I know we were just making fun of someone saying that wrong. Rating with the party at 37. Personal handwritten rating. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to the premiere of my brand new stream show, Stream Theory. I got to figure out a better way to word that. But thank you for stopping by. Holy crap. Epic Raid. We were just talking about how my very expensive Sony G Master lens just died during a surge, even though the camera's totally fine. Emmy Cat with the tier 14-month sub. I don't know why it's cropped. I'm sorry. Big fan of your Twitter. And I was talking about, I have just switched to the Mamiya 645 for my film shooting, learning medium format. Now, this one only comes with the normal normal viewfinder. It doesn't have the waist level one. Obviously, you can take off the top if you are familiar with these. If I go over here, you can take off the top aspect here, and you get a little prism finder. If I flip the mirror, you can actually kind of see through it, although the ring light's mainly going to reflect off of it. But this, without the magnifier, is actually really hard to focus with, in my experience. Like, it's really hard for me to get things lined up with it. It could just be me, I could be blind or something, but I have found it pretty difficult. So most of my test roll of photos have been mostly out of focus, but I did get a couple good looking ones here, which, like I said, I apparently did not make a button for, so we'll just do it this way. We got some lovely Instagram photos of the God of War statues. We got my Windows 98 computer, classic. Gotta shoot that on film. It just looks so right. That also went up on Instagram. And then that was my failed attempt at taking a picture of some of our marigolds we grew. And like I said, I was fairly certain that was in focus. I even did it based on like measuring it. And it's completely out of focus. But the photos are incredible because, like I said, it is larger than full frame. It is medium format. And so once you have that wide open, f2.8 is the widest this lens goes, you get some absolutely beautiful bokeh. And then, as you can see, just the normal rendition looks very lovely for this kind of thing. All right. So I believe that wraps up our housekeeping for today. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about. Needed to just kind of rant about that camera lens because that was really frustrating. We have a new segment that I'm planning for the show that kind of emulates something we have done and something I wanted to expand upon during Streamer News, and that is called The Tweak Zone.
Prepare for battle.
And no, this isn't a drugs reference. Nah, he tweaking. So we have two things I want to unbox and quickly show off here just as a goofy little bit. I have two of these Tiger Electronics video game handhelds. These are re-releases. They actually released these earlier this year or late last year. 2020. And I picked two of these up. They were only like $20, but these are the same video game little handhelds that they had when I was a kid, and I think even when my dad was a kid. And I've had these sitting here, and I've wanted to get them opened up. Unfortunately, it says batteries not included, so we'll have to go and grab them. But these are so cool. I realize it's, they stopped making them for a long time because it seems pretty dumb when you grow up in the age of smartphones and existing handheld game consoles and Nintendo Switches to want something like this. But I have to say, I have always been an advocate for how simple technology could be and how you could benefit from that. So this is just a singular handheld game. You have a couple controls for like sound and pausing it and things like that, but then you just have your basic attack, movement, and whatever. And the screen is already pre-made, as you can see here. You just get kind of black and white LCD pixels that will draw across, and you get a pretty static screen. But something about the simplicity of this and Game Boys and things like that is really appealing to me. I think we have, with all forms of technology, and this is a deeper discussion overall that we don't necessarily get into. Here's the X-Men one, by the way. Similar setup. We will go grab some batteries in just a sec. But I think with technology, as technology has gotten better, so to speak, we have gotten away from the simplicity and the idea of a singular purpose-built device. We got into a rush of your smartphone has everything you want on it, does everything. It's a camera, it's a game system, it's a video player, it's a phone, it's a internet browser, everything. So let's do it all here. But then we get so run down with the distractions, the stress, the notifications, the arguing with each other on social media, because even social media doesn't stick to the simplicity that it was supposed to be. And something's really nice about just sitting down with something like this and just playing the game or doing the thing that it sets out to do. Like if I get my Game Boy and put one game in it and go sit in a lounge chair, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to play that Game Boy game. I'm not going to play it for a minute and then switch over, check Twitter, argue with someone, pull up YouTube comments, check those, get email notifications, get text, respond to that. I'm just going to sit here and play this game. And also when it comes to updates, when I boot this thing up, it's not going to ask me for a 65 gigabyte update. It's just going to work. And I know this is old man yells at cloud territory, but I do think as time goes on, we have the ability to evaluate, and we will have the requirement to reevaluate where our priorities are with what technology does. Like, I truly believe that a lot of the problems with modern social media comes down to the sites trying to do everything. Facebook is now supposed to be your entire internet, like AOL was back in the day, I guess. When Facebook used to be something where you posted status updates, and that was it. Twitter was supposed to be status updates, and that was it. YouTube was supposed to be videos, just a video format. And now everything's trying to be your news aggregator, your communication method, your photo library, and all these things are how you end up from college dude wants to make a dating site to college dude's dating site influenced elections or something. Like, I think we need to get back to condensing and simplifying what each of our tools does, because Facebook comments were never designed with the capacity of having like long-running political debates in. Neither was Twitter. YouTube videos weren't designed to necessarily sustain a career, ironically enough. But like, there's a lot of tweaking and I think regressing that we need to make if these things are going to be sustainable. And I think that's represented in the form of treating individual devices as they were meant to do. Thank you so much for the sub, Sick Boogie Murder. Are you getting the Playdate console? Honestly, probably not. I have not placed the pre-order yet, and I'm gonna be honest. My general impression of it is that it's a Game Boy for like hipsters. Like, I have Game Boys. In fact, I have. The Evercade, I've got DS's, I've got Game Boys. I have invested heavily in this kind of technology. At no point, let me be clear. It was obnoxious enough playing the Game Boys as a kid and having to change out AA batteries seemingly every couple hours. While that's annoying, at no point do I want to sit there and hand crank my game system. I'm sorry, I just don't. There's some sustainability angle from it that I guess is appealing to some people and whatever. But at no point does that seem like part of my gaming experience that I want to take part in. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's just not. Yeah. The hand crank is not for power, it's a controller. That's even worse. That's even worse. That doesn't make it better to me. That doesn't, I mean, I guess, okay. So it's like one of these, but for the fishing games. Like I had a couple of those as a kid where you had the fishing game. That seems like the only application of that. And while that's cool, and I would buy another one of these as the fishing game, that's not the only thing I want to play. Like if I'm buying a system that has multiple games, and especially for the price I think they were charging for it, I don't know. I wasn't into the Wii motion controllers. I just want a controller. I don't know. I do think it looks cool. Like, I don't deny that it looks appealing, and I get why it's appealing to people. But maybe I need to try it first. Maybe I need to try it. But from my perspective, it just doesn't seem appealing. My mind could be changed if they make it in a format that is purchasable. You know, it's not unobtainium as soon as it releases, then maybe I'll get a chance to try it out. No, Twitch, don't start making sound. Thank you. I am checking here. Do we have transcoding? We do not have transcoding. That's unfortunate. I apologize. We pretty much always have transcoding. Oh, by the way, I do have links for the Tiger games. They may or may not be in stock at this moment, but there you go. I forgot to post those when we were talking about it. Shazam. I'm trying to be a good streamer. My phone is blowing up. Holy hell. It's not important. Moving on. I had a couple other things I wanted to talk about just because I don't know when I'm going to get the chance to. Thank you for the 300 bits, XIP28. Just because I don't know when I'm going to get the chance to talk about them. And they are cool things that they are cool things that I am currently experimenting with that I'm having a lot of fun with. So the first one, which I forgot to pull up a page for so we can look at, is this little guy right here. If it loads. If it loads. If it loads. Wow, this is a slow website. This is the Soyuz launcher. This is effectively kind of like a cloud lifter or a FET head in that it's a mic activator. It takes phantom power, does not pass it through, and gives a gain boost to a microphone. But instead of just being transparent gain, it actually applies analog coloring, so to speak, to your microphone. So a little bit of like saturation and oomph to it. It's very subtle. But if you're someone who likes, there's a lot of devices that look just like this cloud lifter. But if you're someone who likes like just that little bit of extra analog coloration and things like that, I've been experimenting with this with my RE20, and I just really like whatever it adds to it. And so I do have a sample here of before and after. No clue if you're really going to be able to tell. It's super subtle, but it does it for me. It is super expensive though. It's $200, just like cloud lifters when they launched. So it's not for everyone. Would this be something to pick up with the Rode Pod mic? Definitely. That would give it that extra warmth that I complained that the Pod mic was lacking, and still give it the gain that you need for it through a cloud lifter anyway. So it's something I would recommend. It will seem silly to most people to spend twice as much as your microphone costs on a little activator to go with your mic, but that's audio hardware for you. But here's a little test with it before and after, and I will just mute the music in the background as we do that. The Electrovoice RE20 ran through the PreSonus Revelator IO24. 3 rings for the Elven Kings under the sky, 7 for the Dwarf Lords in their halls of stone, 9 for the mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. This is with 45 decibels of gain, by the way. This is a microphone test of the Electrovoice RE20 ran through the Soyuz launcher and the PreSonus Revelator IO24 set to 25 decibels of gain. 3 rings for the Elven Kings under the sky, 7 for the Dwarf Lords in their halls of stone, 9 for the mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. Like I said, super subtle, but something about it just does it for me. It just, it's so good. No idea if it conveys over Twitch, but I was listening back and forth to it and really enjoyed it. So I guess I will copy paste this link in the chat. Like I said, it is pretty pricey at $200. Like that's a little bit more than you're going to pay for a cloud lifter or a FET head. I need to adjust my chat box so it doesn't clear chat so quickly. but it is lovely. The last thing I want to talk about for this section, and we can actually include the beacon stuff that we're being asked about in chat as well. Yeah, just a little bit of uplift, just a little bit of that I think it's saturation and a little bit of warmth added in. Super nice. But the other thing I want to talk about is the Scan Marker Air. This is something that I got recommended to off of TikTok, and I was like, nah, that's some bull. But I guess if we go over here, this is a little device that you use to scan books. So I read a lot of nonfiction books, like self-help, entrepreneurial, how to do stuff, and I highlight and page flag a ton. And I never really had a good workflow for taking that back to the computer and turning it into notes that I can continue referencing and evaluating on. And this was something I got recommended. It had a beefy coupon attached to it, which I guess it still does here. I will post a link to this in chat because, oh, actually, I have that link to chat. And wanted to try it out. It's got some quirks to it. It's not the easiest thing to use in the world, but effectively, like, it is literally, you just drag it over like a highlighter on the text in your book, even if you've already highlighted it, and it will turn it into text in whatever program you're using. So I'm using Notion here, so this is my Notion notes, and you just scan the words, and it's a little awkward doing it one-handed as I was recording this, and it just goes. And this is super important for me. I know if someone's saying your phone can do this, but I'm not someone who uses my phone for everything and sitting there and taking pictures and translating, and then you have to copy that over into the app that you want it to be in and whatever. That's not a smooth workflow for me. Whereas this is directly, it can do handwriting, Derek, by the way. It can do handwriting. This is something that will take it directly into the program that I want to use it in, and I can add formatting as I go. And to me, it's just a much smoother workflow. If you're just looking to get direct archives, then yes, you can just use your phone, but and that's the $139 model. They do, someone's pointing out the price. They do have a cheaper one for like $80. I forget what it's called, but it's another Scan Marker model. That's just the one I picked up because it's supposed to be wireless and Bluetooth, which is a lot more handy. But I gotta say, it's not perfect, and I don't think any kind of product like that is, but it has been, it's been super huge for me transcribing my notes and my highlights out of books and the like. And so just wanted to give that a mention because realistically, I'm probably never gonna get to make a video on that. Like, there would be no point to me making a video on that anyway. So yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we just got hit with a $5 tip. I probably owe you this, to be honest. No one owes me a tip. That's not true. But thank you so much, Greg. Thank you. You are a homie. You rock. Thank you so much. Everyone say thanks to Greg in the chat. We do have some more openings related to like other stuff that we will do at the end of the show for another segment, but that is all we have for Tweak Zone. So we will get to the section that you all have all been waiting for that I've never done live. So this is purely going to be an experiment, but I wanted to finally bring it back. I ran this show for quite a bit, I think from the end of 2019 to early 2020. I even bought, like, I invested in new cameras for a smooth workflow for it. I had this all locked down, and then I was unable to keep up with it once my kid was born, and have not continued the series until this day. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the return of Stream Critique. You got me hydrating. So, this is Stream Critique, the series where I judge your streams, critique them, give feedback, grade it on a Stream Professor's report card, if you will, and help you get better at your streams. So if you're unfamiliar with how the series has run previously, I traditionally focus on the false alarm. What false alarm? I traditionally focus on a particular aspect of a stream, a particular thing they're doing right, thing they're doing wrong, thing you can learn from that I think you can take home as a viewer rather than fully evaluate. Like some of the stream critiquing shows that came out after mine stopped airing, I noticed were just like, they would just kind of rapid fire run through a bunch of streams and be like graphics, whatever. And my big thing is, while I will evaluate those things, I want to focus on one particular channel per episode. I think I was doing 2 or 3 before. We're experimenting with just doing 1. Focus on one particular channel in the things they are doing right and wrong. And I'm doing this live, and I'm doing it while referencing a browser up on this monitor, so it's going to get weird, but I am excited regardless. So the streamer we're focusing on, by the way, is actually live at this exact moment, which is kind of awkward, or at least they were when I started streaming. I believe they still are. Yeah, they appear to be live at this moment. And they are a streamer by the name of Derados. So we'll go ahead and switch over to our browser name. If y'all want to go raid his chat or something, that's fine, but stay focused here. And they are a streamer that mainly focuses on first-person shooter stuff, but they also do a little bit of variety, and that's something that we're going to talk about because I consider it a good thing. Hello, stream. Are you going to play? Am I not allowed to watch a stream because I'm live? That wouldn't surprise me, but it's not exactly what I'm expecting. Okay, hello. Yay, Twitch working functionally, because that's... Oh, they're not online anymore. That's awkward. Okay, rip. Well, anyway, their thing's still... Whatever. So, we have a VOD from them. Derados is a streamer who primarily plays Rogue Company, Apex Legends, I believe a little bit of Siege. Where's their videos panel? Am I missing something? Twitch. What is wrong with your UI, Twitch? Where's the videos and clips and... Question mark? Why is Twitch's UI so terrible? Click their name. That's the same URL! That is the exact same URL! What? Why is their UI so terrible? Holy hell. Anyway, that is not the point right now. So they mainly stream first-person shooters, games like Road Company and whatever, according to them. However, they've also been doing a Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Let's play. Can we just critique Twitch in general? But Mixer had the bad UI. Yeah. Anyway. So, first impressions, if we're just looking at their channel, especially with them having told us that they are a first-person shooter-oriented channel, you will notice that they have had quite a few broadcasts in a row of this Crash Bandicoot Let's Play. Granted, Twitch doesn't say VODs long enough, so we only have 3 of them. But as of a few days ago when I started this, it was more. My first point of critique here comes down to scheduling, because honestly, I think more streamers need to be more varied in the content they produce. I talk about this a lot. We can make this a little bit a bigger video at some point, but something that I truly believe is that streamers get way too wrapped up in the number of viewers that they have when they are streaming a particular game or event. And to me, this is misleading, almost as kind of taking the hype around a new movie launch or something to represent their overall recurring viewership. And that is misleading to yourself and possibly damaging to your content strategy. Because realistically, your core subs that watch kind of whatever you play over time and things like that are your core viewers. And the more you understand them, the better you can perform. This is something that is 100% required on YouTube, but I don't think streamers involve enough. And so I truly believe that they're not doing anything wrong right now by streaming Crash Bandicoot 4, by playing primarily shooters, but doing a Let's Play. But what I do think they get critically wrong right now is that they did what appears to be, at least based on how I was viewing, and it was mentioned we can pull them up on Sully Gnome. You are correct. We can view that as well. Sully Gnome is a great analytics platform for Twitch. Not well known about enough just because it has a really stupid name. We can come down here. We don't care about their actual numbers, honestly. This is really hard to see when my... Oh, games. There we go. Let's do that. Games. Yeah, you can see here, it hasn't even registered their latest Rogue Company stream that they just did. It just has Crash Bandicoot 4 because they were doing so much of it. We can come down here to calendar. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Crash Bandicoot 4, Crash Bandicoot 4, Crash Bandicoot 4, Crash Bandicoot 4, Rogue Company. So that was at least, probably longer, at least a week straight of Crash Bandicoot. And we can go back. Yep. So a week straight of Crash Bandicoot. It looks like it was just a complete break from first-person shooters. And you can see here they have a little bit of consistency trouble. Oh, whoops. little bit of consistency trouble in general here, as they are kind of all over the place with stream listings, which is whatever. You got to work that out a little bit on your own, but that was something they brought up as one of their potential weaknesses. So that is something I want to address. My issue here is that if you are a viewer of that channel, you may want to watch them play Crash Bandicoot sometimes. You may support them for that. 100% fine. That's the expected result here if you have a core audience. Like you all, I have viewers here show up for my Tech Talks, for my Twitch Talks, for my Pokemon openings, whatever. Perfect. The issue is dedicating an entire week to that game. That is clearly a strong pivot from their normal stuff. That is my problem right here. And this comes down, I think, to lack of preparation. And that's probably related to their consistency in the first place. But I think so many streamers reach a point, and I don't know that this is what happened for them. I'm just talking generally. But so many streamers reach a point where they stream the same thing or the same couple games every day for weeks on end that they get burned out and they just need a break from it. When realistically, you can alternate. You can say, okay, this day of the week, we are streaming my FPS games, be it Apex, Rogue Company, whatever. Like Mondays are FPS streams. Fridays are variety streams. That took way too long. Mondays are FPS streams. Fridays are variety streams. Wednesdays are something specific. Or Monday is Rogue Company. Wednesday's Apex Legends. Friday is Crash Bandicoot. And if you happen to do extra streams to like supplement some extra time in those games, totally fine. But to me, it is completely counterproductive to have variety if you are, if you are detracting from your core content. Like on my main channel right now, I post very specific content. OBS guides, capture card reviews, streaming gear reviews, the like. Every once in a while, I'll post something else. I'll post a retro gaming product review because I have nowhere else to really post that in a way that it makes sense. It's relevant to some of my audience. It's on brand for the branding that I establish here in the retro room. It works. But if I were to post that for like a month straight, I would burn out so many viewers who may check in on that content every once in a while because they like hearing my perspective on things, but they're not there for that content. You have to balance it out. And so I do think that a big weakness that many streamers have is a lack of preparation, and that comes into your schedule as well. And I think even if even if you're super stoked on the content that you're streaming at the moment, be it a first-person shooter game or whatever, it is still the healthier step to at least make step towards or to implement a schedule in which you are taking breaks from that, giving your viewers a break and getting yourself a healthier view of your analytics as well to see who shows up for those as well. Because you'll probably get new viewers. You'll get a little bit of cross-pollination too. So you'll have viewers that normally don't watch that game, but they watch you, so they'll watch that game and then whatever. And then you'll have people who have never heard of you who were watching that game who come find this stream and then watch your other streams. And then you'll have a bunch who only watch one or the other and don't watch you. And then you have your core audience that'll watch anything you post. It is extremely important to get that data. And it is very difficult to get that data until you experiment a little bit more. But in order to experiment, you need to lay it out and schedule it in a way that makes sense and doesn't just like you tune into this dude's stream every day of a week and it's like, are you ever going to play Rogue Company again, man? And even though it's only been a week, to that viewer who's checking in or checking Twitch on you daily or whatever, it's going to seem like you just dropped it or you're just done with it or something. And so I think it's extremely important to balance out that kind of thing. Now going back to their stream VOD here, which we have missed most of because I accidentally left playing. Hello, Two Shoes. Thank you for stopping by. First episode of Stream Theory. So overall, their graphics are pretty fine. No major complaints here. Well, not clearly. It looks like a pre-made package to me, which is fine. We push those. We'll be talking about them in general. So not a huge deal. But, they're solid. They look professional. It's well done. Most of it's cohesive. We get a little bit of starting screen here, and then we got this nice little view, and then he switches over to the webcam view. Totally fine. Looks great. No problems with it overall. No major complaints. What I do have complaints about, though, and you may already see it, that really, really bugs me, is I'm gonna mouse over this right here, the webcam frame. So this is my biggest pet peeve when it comes to streaming layouts, streaming graphics, and the like. I say that because it's actually a compounding of multiple pet peeves at one time. So first and foremost, if you have a green screen, there is absolutely zero reason to build yourself like an image background here over top, like to put yourself in a webcam frame. That's wasted data, wasted space. Just put yourself in the corner with yourself green screened over the gameplay, especially on a game like this, which has nothing in the bottom left-hand corner anyway. That would be perfect. That is the best use of your camera view, IMO. No point in using the webcam frame overall. And what really is kind of weird to me is in this scene, they actually have themselves just keyed out in front of this view. Whereas I feel like if you're going to have your gameplay in a smaller window and stuff for this kind of intermission scene, then that would be the best opportunity to have yourself like you in a webcam frame like I have right now. This was not planned, but I'm in a frame. My gameplay's in a frame. Good to go. Thank you for the host, Mr. Lime Runner. I think that's the way to go. Instead, they have the webcam frame for the gameplay, and I think this serves zero purpose. And one of my biggest tips when it comes to creating video or to creating streams is if you're implementing elements, overlays, what have you, you need to consider whether or not it actually adds to your scene. And in this case, it does not. And what really bugs me, and this is where the elements compound here, is that the background is a static image that triggers one of my biggest pet peeves about green screen usage in general. When you're using a green screen, unless you're in front of like a screen capture or something where you're trying to show the detail of what you're green screened in front of, your green screen background should not be sharper than you are. And that is almost always going to be the case when you're looking at a webcam view. This is a still image. It has all the bits assigned to it because it's not moving to be as sharp as can be. And so it looks out of place because your background is sharper than your foreground, which makes it look like you're less in focus. And the softer you are with a sharp background, the harder the video encoding is going to struggle to make you look in focus for your actual details getting resolved. So that's already a bad idea. Not to mention, this is actually an image of Crash Bandicoot 4 About Time. You can see Crash's hands sticking out from beside of him. So it's an image with a subject in the center, and that just looks really weird. It looks like Crash or whoever it is sticking out from behind his chair and trying to grab him and choke him out. An animated background would be okay, and I highly encourage people who do green screens who want like a more realistic, view to, commission out or build or use examples of like a faux 3D set. But this kind of thing I would personally never do. Now, it was pointed out that they're probably trying to have a little bit of variety, which is why they have the changing scenes. But like I said, I would prefer it to be done the opposite. Whereas this kind of scene is a picture-in-picture double frame view like we have now. And then your actual gameplay scene, you're keyed out in front of it. It would allow you to be bigger, allow you to be clearer, and just make the overall experience make a lot more sense. Like I said, this is something that just really bugs me a little bit as a couple pet peeves about streams in general on top of green screen usage. But it's easy to fix. Like realistically, it's not super hurting him right now. His stream, like the presentation here overall is fine. His video quality is pretty solid. His hosting isn't that bad. That's actually something he mentioned, is that he thinks his hosting is boring, especially when there isn't a whole lot of chat. And I tuned in here. We can kind of unmute this and get a little bit of a preview. I assume I have the audio added for this. I hope so.
3 versus 4, let's go. It would be a nice comeback. Maybe not.
We have two different views going. My bad. That makes more sense.
Crate, which tells developers' thoughts that, come on, you cannot do it.
Chat is not super active right now, but he is talking. He is chatting away. He's talking about the game. He's talking about the developers. Good to go. Totally fine.
Guards, basically.
Like, it's not the most ecstatic, engaging stream, but he's hosting much better than most newbie streamers. Probably most streamers on the platform. Totally fine. I have no issue with that. I just have issue with how the green screen is used here. Audio quality, as you kind of heard here, we'll turn it back on, isn't super clear. In this specific, we'll check the other one. In this specific stream, he said he was using a headset mic because he was getting a new one on the way because one was broken, but he's using like Bayer dynamic headphones here that don't have a headset mic, so I don't actually know what microphone he's using.
Ooh, that was actually unnecessary risk.
But he has a little bit of a game balance or audio balance problem where his game sounds a little bit louder than he is. It's a little harder to understand. So that needs a little bit of work. It's a little odd there. But that's fine. We'll check his newer VOD here of Rogue Company.
Damn it. I got 2 grenades on me.
Yeah, so he's still a little quiet compared to the game. And again, I don't know if he's using the new mic that replaced his broken one because he submitted his application quite a few weeks ago. By the way, if you want to submit your application, streamguides.gg/streamcritique. I don't have a Stream Deck button for this because I'm a prepared professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen. But if you want to apply for this show yourself, you can head over into that URL I just posted in chat. Sign up. Require a little bit of information from you. But yeah, they submitted their application a few weeks ago, so obviously things change and whatever. But the audio quality isn't super balanced. I don't like the microphone quality itself isn't amazing, but you don't need it to be amazing. You just need it to be passable. I have a little video up on my YouTube channel, The Ultimate Guide to Improving Your Audio Quality for Streaming. You can check that out. But like the voice quality itself,
Streamer actually getting really bad at the game.
there's a little bit of reverb, but overall, it's fine. Like, it's fine. It doesn't need to be amazing. The issue is the balance with his game. And so you could set up auto ducking like I have with the music. So when you talk, the game sound gets lower and then it comes back up. You still want to keep it lower in general than he has it right now, but you can talk it so that wouldn't make you close the stream. Huh? Anyway, you can have it, you lower it from where he has it at this point, but then enable auto ducking, which allows it to lower a little bit more sorry, I got thrown off. Oh, the audio quality won't make you close the stream. Yeah, exactly. Like you set up auto ducking, which is a process where the audio that you are ducking, in this case, the game sound, will dynamically lower based on when you talk and then kind of raise back up a little bit when you're not, which is super helpful for these kinds of situations. Again, that's a tutorial I have up on my YouTube channel as well. A couple different solutions there to where realistically, you know, you're not going to show up and be like, that's terrible audio. Close. But you're also, eventually you're going to be like, okay, I can't hear you over the game, buddy. Can you fix that? So that's my fix there. Overall, though, I don't have major gripes with this stream. Like I said, they expressed that their weaknesses were their social skills without chat and things like that. And honestly, I think compared to a lot of streamers I check on, they're doing just fine. My biggest issue here is, ironically, so we talked about my biggest pet peeve with specific green screen usage. This is my biggest problem with game streaming in general. And I know not everyone agrees with me, and it will entirely depend on what your priorities are for streaming. So I want to clarify that right now. But if your priorities are to grow a stream, to build an audience, to create an entertaining stream that keeps viewers around, what we have been watching right now isn't great because nothing has changed. And in fact, if we scroll through the entire 3-hour VOD of this game, nothing ever changes. No scene changes. You notice I put on all this effort to these stinger transitions, the multicams, all of this for a reason. It's not just because I can, although part of it is, but part of it's because when it comes to movies and TV shows and most forms of media, you have to keep changing things up. You have to make it dynamic in order for viewers to stick around. Now, I don't expect everyone to invest way too much money in multiple cameras, even though you can get cheaper phones or even cheaper webcams to set up multicam. Not everyone needs multicam, but what you do need is different scenes. Variety is the spice of life. You are correct. And so it doesn't have to be super elaborate, but change it up. Take breaks. So something I was talking about during my How to Build a Stream Show videos, which you can look on my YouTube channel that we just talked about at the beginning of the stream, is that when you're doing game streaming, you need to be taking regular breaks from the gameplay that you're doing to engage with your chat and actually focus on them, to break up the visuals, to go back to that scene that they had at the start of the game. Like, this should be happening every level. They should, and they could be. Like, I am looking at a high level and just not finding it. And admittedly, I did not sit here for 3 hours and scrub, literally watch this frame by frame. But as far as I could tell, at no point do they actually switch back to that scene. It's only at the start for some reason. Whereas realistically, every time they die or every level, they should be back on this scene, engaging with chat, breaking it up, maybe talking about something else, showing something else, etc. Even set yourself up reminders. Like, you can probably get like a timer script on OBS or something to just tell you to, hey, do this. Or set reminders on your phone, put your post-it notes on your monitor, set something up so that you are changing scenes dynamically and breaking it up. Because honest to goodness, as much as people love game streaming, it is my strong belief that most viewers who, like, especially for a streamer who's trying to grow, when you're a big streamer and you just get to sit on your laurels and do whatever you want, your viewers are going to stick around forever. When you're a streamer trying to grow, anything you can do to keep viewers from bouncing from your stream is a win. This is something that we learn and I focus on super heavily and have to obsess over for YouTube videos, and it 100% applies to stream as well, is that you have to break up the dead air, you have to break up the monotony of your stream. Because if you just leave it on the same thing, even if it's... you would have to be like Shroud level top tier gameplay in order for your gameplay to not get boring after a while when you have the exact same stream layout for 3 hours. I'm sorry, but most people get bored of that. You got to break it up. And this is why one of the most prolific streamers, whether you support him or not, and I have my own disagreements with how he does things, Dr. Disrespect builds such a powerful and engaging stream because he has so much going on. He has different like webcam layouts within the same scene. He has different views of the gameplay. He has all his goofy like green screen skit things he runs off to. That's not just because he just wants to have fun. That's part of it. But that's because he's building a show. He's building something that's entertaining. Now, I want to stop what I'm saying right now because I mentioned that it matters what your priorities are. This is if you are a new streamer trying to grow and build an audience and do streaming as some sort of like, this is what you do. Not necessarily as a career, but if maybe that, but you know, your thing that you do. If you are just game streaming to play games and share it with friends and have fun and do whatever, realistically, you don't need to do this. If you are just here to hang out and you don't care whether people stick around, you just want your friends to see your gameplay or you just want to do it, you can do whatever you want. This is fine. If you come home from work every day and you're just like, I just want to play a game and you know, chill and enjoy it and not engaging and whatever, you don't have to do this. You're still going to make better stuff that people are going to hang out and have more fun with you with, and you're going to build up new friends by if you're attracting new people. But you know, you got to decide what's important to you. But this is something that realistically doesn't take a ton of effort. Like I'm going to be a little insulting to everyone here for a minute, but I firmly believe that game streaming content isn't high effort content. It can be, but on its own, the core concept of playing a video game and streaming it to the internet, you can do it with quite literally zero effort. You can enable NVIDIA Shadow Play and just broadcast your gameplay up there. The bell curve, not the bell curve, the like curve of difficulty of actually making engaging streams that are watchable. What I am suggesting for Dorado here, which is not something that he has to change everything he's doing for. Like if we're drawing a curve right here, I should totally have a graphic prepared for this. We're talking like we just started going up the curve. This is just 2 extra steps. You can even automate most of it to where like every 10 minutes it's doing something for you. Like you could literally do the bare minimum to implement this. So this is something that Dorado right now can take home and change and have a much better stream for. And then never have to touch it again if he doesn't want to, because he's not, you know, he's still doing it just for fun or whatever. But just that little extra step. But otherwise, it's a pretty solid stream. I'm going to check my notes here because I've been talking for too long. Yeah, I don't think I had any major other complaints other than just one little bit. And I really can't stand that they have the little symbol at the start of their stream titles to like implement that they're live. The little record button when the brackets. And I'm going to annoyingly switch back to the browser scene even though this transition takes forever. You all love the cards. You know you do. But this right here, this is a waste of space. This doesn't benefit you. It's contributing to how long your title appears, and it can get truncated on certain views. This does not make your title more attractive. It doesn't. It's just wasted characters. It's because they multi-stream. It's because of YouTube. What do you mean? My YouTube stream titles never have that. I don't entirely understand that. Maybe Restream or something adds it to the front. If so, that's unfortunate. But personally, I would not implement them. It's common on YouTube. Well, that's dumb. Like, I realize I'm speaking from a place of ignorance because I clearly don't understand this, but I think it's pretty dumb. If you're worried about it showing up alongside your VODs and stuff, you make a thumbnail that clearly expresses that it's live, or you put VOD in the thumbnail or something. But personally, I think symbols are typically a waste of characters on your titles, and that it detracts from the experience and it makes it look more generic. I would rather come up with something clever. And honestly, their stream titles overall work. They are referencing stuff they're doing in the game, and they change it each stream, and suddenly it just got very loud. There we go. But like, they have different ones for their different episodes. So I appreciate what they're doing with the text, but already, like, that symbol's taken away from the legibility of the titles in the first place. And personally, I don't recommend it. Other people do it. You can do whatever you want. This is not serious advice. This is my personal preference of what I like to see and what I think works. But especially, I mean, it's Twitch titles. Very few people really read Twitch titles unless you have something super compelling that you threw up there. So cover it in emoji vomit and just go with it, I guess. So, for Dorado, I have been super critical in the angle of providing value of what you can change for yourself and what they can change. Like I said, overall, their stream is pretty solid, and we're going to get to the first ever Stream Professor's Report card for Dorado. Boom. We're going to get right here. I'm going to pull things up. So first and foremost, for video quality, they get an A. Their video quality was totally fine. I'm not going to sit here and pixel peep and nitpick and make sure that they're at 936p and they're using the right encoder or any of that. I don't think that matters. Their stream was presentable. It didn't have a ton of blocking. It was completely legible. I am A-okay with it. I just made a thumbs up to the camera and you can't see it. Audio quality, I'm giving a B-, mainly due to the gameplay balance. The microphone quality wasn't amazing in the first place, but that would have been fine on its own if if the gameplay audio was not super overpowering. And so if they fix that, they could land themselves a B+ or an A-. It's fine. Their hosting skills, the big thing, they were actually worried about themselves. I'm giving them a B+. Again, nothing super amazing or phenomenal stood out. So, you know, they're not in A or A+ territory because there wasn't anything stellar there. But realistically, it was fine. Like, they did what they set out to do, and they did a decent job at it. And anytime I spot checked or clicked around, like, they were chatting about the game, and they weren't super boring. It was a Let's Play, so that contains its own boring factor on its own, but inherently to their hosting, they weren't doing anything super boring. So I can't really dock them for that. In terms of their metadata, which was that title I just brought up, I'm giving an A-, because I like that they were changing their stream titles based on each individual stream. They weren't just reusing the same stream title over and over. They were coming up with clever stuff. I 100% appreciate that. I absolutely love it. I encourage everyone to do it. But I just docked off a point for that symbol that I personally prefer to change. You may not count that, since there are apparently a lot of other people who do it and reasons to do it. This is my subjective score. I am not a doctor or a lawyer or a qualified teacher at your personal college, I guess. You cannot use these scores to get into a better college. Graphics, in terms of their overlays and everything, give them a B+. Nothing amazing about it, and I think there's a little bit of misuse there with the green screen, as I mentioned, and the webcam frame. But it's better than your average streamer who barely has anything, doesn't use it right, doesn't have it set up right, whatever. Totally fine. Like I said, needs a little bit of work. We already talked about that. And finally, presentation. I'm giving them a D. That is by far their worst score, and that comes down purely to what I talked about before, which was their overall, the fact that their scene didn't change. Nothing exciting happened. Nothing changed throughout the show. That earned them a D. If they can get that up, they're on their way to a great score in the finals, as you all noticed. Yeah, I'm just checking, making sure everything's good. So yeah, that's their scores for the first ever Stream Professor's Report card. And this has been the first live episode of Stream Critique. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure and go check out our sponsor. Our sponsor today is, of course, Nerd or Die. Nerd or Die has a wonderful gamut of stream layouts, overlays, alert packs, free resources such as their media looper that we covered before, all sorts of awesome stuff, including the new Stream Professor inspired Stream OS. Like I said, I will have more to share on that front in general, but it is a lovely, I don't know if I have rights to that music. It is a lovely Windows 95 era themed layout with a few different styles and lots of cool stuff like that. You can go check them out at eposvox.gg/nerdordie and use coupon code EposVox at checkout to save 15%. We also have other cool stuff that we have going, and you will hear more from me regarding this layout in the future. If you want to apply for Stream Critique yourself, you can check out this link in the description below. I will make sure I get Stream Deck buttons set up for that in the future. Yeah, Nerd or Die has been an awesome sponsor, and they were one of the reasons that Stream Critique was able to happen in the first place. They've been a huge supporter of this channel, and I am a huge supporter of what they do. And like I said, the fact that I reached out to them and was like, hey, I want a Windows 95, 98 era theme for my streams to go with my PC I have in the background. And they were like, let's do it. And then we're finally getting that put together. Good stuff. We got, like I said, more to show from that. By the way, if you want to hear from me some more, we do have my other social media profiles. You can go follow me, TikTok, Twitter, Discord. Join us on Discord, discord.gg/EposVox. Of course, YouTube videos I post 3 times a week, or stream, depending on which week it is, over at youtube.com/EposVox. You can support me on Patreon if you want to contribute to keeping this tech education free. And if you like the Retro Room goodness, you can, of course, check out my Instagram as well. And, of course, we have the backing track music, backingtrack.gg. If you want some background music, we're going to go ahead and run an ad for that real quick so I can get a drink. And then we got some more stuff to talk about, ladies and gentlemen.
Stream safe music for your streams and videos, but want something a little heavier? My awesome community sought to solve that and made Backing Track. Hard rock and heavy metal music, safe for your content and free to use. No subscriptions. Head over to backingtrack.gg to stream it or join our Discord for free downloads.
And of course, we have our merch as well. We have awesome desk mats. They are high quality, awesome, all designed in this blank VHS cover design. You can pick that up at eposvox.gg/merch. We also have enamel pins and stickers, and we have more cool stuff coming soon. I'm super stoked and proud of this design, and obviously it's completely on brand for everything else that we do. So go check that out as well. Again, that's eposvox.gg/merch. Wow, my voice is already going out. You can tell I haven't done longer streams in a little while. This keeps happening. You know, I should almost listen to someone's YouTube video about, you know, doing warm-ups before you stream. I wonder who talked about that. Wasn't me. Always be sure to hydrate, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, what did you all think about our first episode of Stream Critique running live? Let's chat about it. We're going to take a little bit of time. I can't stay too late today, although we do have a whole separate segment that we're going to talk about. But since we are doing this live, of course, I want to get your all's feedback about the format and how things are going. So I want to hear from you as I actually get things ready. So I'm going to leave the camera for a second as you all chat it up so you all can check this out. I got new graphics to show you.
One of my video sets for someone who goes above and beyond for making YouTube videos. This is where I sit. I have a stool, that way it's completely
really
out of
loud,
frame. I sit at a good couple feet distance from my backdrop, which has my TV display here, loading up a bunch of Twitch streams, as well as my LG CX OLED as well. We've got the nice retro computer backdrop going on here. And so I will sit right here in the stool and face my primary camera. We also have a monitor to show the preview, make sure I'm in focus, all of that. Microphone is just out of frame here, ready to go. Teleprompter is mounted on the camera. My phone slots in there so I can see the script. We've got my main key light here, Aperture Nova P300C. Reflector's not doing anything. We've got a small soft light mounted overhead for a rim light. And then I have my camera robot getting a second angle that's just looping through an animation to get a cool dynamic angle. It's pretty wild. Give me a subscribe over at youtube.com/EposVox for more tech videos.
I've been debating this whole... All right. I just wanted to show off the new graphics while I grab some stuff. So the browser source is actually centered in the overlay, and that's the problem. I guess I should just make it left adjust. I honestly don't feel like you're missing much cropped off the side, but like the aspect ratio isn't the same, so you're gonna lose information no matter what I do. But like you mostly just missed the Twitch sidebar, which doesn't really contribute anything. But I'll probably just left adjust it. Woo! All right. Looks like you all are enjoying it. Again, you can send your applications at streamguides.gg/streamcritique. And yes, I know the the website itself hasn't been updated for the blog post recently. I am a little bit behind on that. I just got a delivery notice if it's what I think it is. It's not. Never mind. Okay. So we have one final segment to round off today, and this is going to be a segment. So some of these segments that we run are going to kind of alternate. Like Tweak Zone is stuff where we're like checking out new products or showing you cool tricks and tips. We also have a segment called Wares and Spares, where I show like top applications I'm using or something recently. But one segment I try to have at the end of every stream, unless I need to run or whatever, is what I call After Party.
The work environment sucks, but I bet the benefits are nice.
And this is the fun segment of the stream where we could play games, do a game streaming segment if I had more time, or do openings and unboxings and things like that. So we did unboxings of like the tech-related products right now. But today, we're checking out some of the new Pokemon product. So, yeah. If you're unaware, I do have a whole YouTube channel where I do Pokemon TCG openings. Go check that out. YouTube.com/EposVox, which was the old name for it. Stupid name. HoloQuest is much better. If you are interested in this kind of content, please go give it a subscribe. I post there 3 days a week, currently Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And once I get an editor going, it should be a lot more consistent. But we have 3 primary things we're going to be opening today, which is the Hoenn first partner pack is finally here. This is something they're doing for the 25th anniversary. They've been doing their monthly. And then we have 2 of the blister packs for the new set Evolving Skies. And we have one with an Umbreon promo, which is gorgeous with that moon in the background. And then Ice Cube, which is by far one of my least favorite Pokemon. But before we get into that, we got some stuffs to open. We had quite the mail haul today. So we're gonna get into this stuff. We're gonna move it a little quickly here. I appreciate you all hanging out with me in this first episode of Stream Theory. Much appreciated. Like I said, been working on this show a while. I know it seems kind of simple, but getting it planned out and getting the content done ahead of time is a lot of work, and I admittedly spent a little too long having fun building those graphics. And the goal here is to have segments that I can then post to other platforms. So goofy little quotes or whatever. Oh, they put this in a bubble mailer. Oh, hold up. I gotta be careful with this, actually. I didn't realize that's what this is. I gotta be really careful with this as I like tear it up. This was like not great packaging for this. Oh, never mind. I thought this was something else. We have the original Team Rocket Trouble theme deck, and Trouble is completely off center from the Pokeball. That just irks me. Dear God. Why? What? Why did they do that? Anyway, this is one of the original Team Rocket theme decks from the classic Pokemon game or card game. You got the Dark Arbok as the like included fancy card here. You got 60 cards, Pokemon coin, damage counters, rulebook, card list. For now, I'm gonna keep it in here. I'm gonna keep it sealed. I don't have a whole lot of sealed product, but realistically, there's not a whole lot of goal to opening this right now. Maybe we'll open it later on the channel, but got a good deal on that. Wanted to bring it in and add it to my collection because if you are unaware, I ended up having to sell off a lot of my older Pokemon TCG stuff back in the day, and I'm trying to build my collection back up as I pursue my childhood fantasies. In this box here, we have the Leonhardt Mystery Box, which we will open up in the future. But Leonhardt is another Pokemon TCG YouTuber who partnered up with Golden Groundhog, who does a lot of these mystery boxes here on Amazon and things like that. I don't know why I said here. We're not on Amazon right now. I mean, I guess Twitch, but... and he did a limited run of these. There is a chance to get a PSA graded card and a vintage pack. Now, I will say, we might have to open this today. This could be completely misleading. All right, hold up. I gotta go grab something. I gotta go grab something. Hold on. So I could be missing blah, 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 blah. Words are hard. I could be misremembering, but I actually haven't even edited the stream of this from like March when I originally got it. But if I'm remembering right, the Leonhardt box that I got before was closer to this size. Not this size, but like about this size. This may mean we got one of the graded cards. Or a pack or something. Because this one's significantly bigger than I recall. I think we go for it today. We're gonna come back to this though. Oh! Alright. Anyway. I don't even remember what I was saying because I just got so excited at the prospect that we actually got one of the good boxes. We got more though, ladies and gentlemen. We got more. Ooh. I believe this is... We will open it. Find out first. Yes, this is... The hype is real, right? Exactly. This is a sealed, supposedly unweighed, probably weighed and lightweight, but supposedly unweighed, long stem fossil booster pack from the classic Wizard of the Coast days of Pokemon TCG. I'm pairing this with a Team Rocket booster that I picked up recently, and we're going to do another vintage opening soon, so... Unweighed. So with older sets, they do a lot to try to like counter the ability to do it these days with the newer sets. But with the older Pokemon sets, you can effectively weigh, like on a little mail scale or whatever, the packs of Pokemon cards, and more or less with some degree of accuracy determine whether or not it has a holo foil card in it. Excuse me. And so the heavier packs are going to be the ones with foil cards because the foil weighs more than the cardboard. I believe that's how that works. Yeah. And so those usually cost more, whereas lightweight ones cost less because they likely don't have a rare card in it that would be worth a lot of money, because the cards you can get out of this could be worth a lot of money. And so when you're buying them from random eBay sellers, they say that they're unweighed so that you're not getting ripped off, but realistically they probably did weigh them and you're getting the crappy ones. But the opportunity, which will be rare and sparse in my life, to open up these classic packs is still one that I will take every once in a while. So even if we don't get much, I will be excited for it regardless. So we'll keep that up here safe until we do that opening. We got 2 more of these remaining. Oh no! I hate these envelopes. They get everywhere. I realize that they're like eco-friendly, but they get everywhere. Oh, and I fall for it every time because I never know that that's what that is until it happens. And this doesn't even open anything. It said tear to open and it didn't open anything. I was lied to twice now. Oh, there we go. What does this have in it? I don't even know what this is. Okay. Now there's like dust all over my fancy desk mat. It's like, it's almost like insulation too. Like, ugh. Amazon has some envelopes like that now too, where they, instead of bubbles, they have little dots of it or whatever. All right, so what is in here? I don't actually know offhand. Oh, hello! Alright, so this makes 2. I now have my first 2 graded Pokemon cards. They're not grade 10, they're not amazing, but from 2001 and 2002, We have Neo Revelation and Pokemon Expedition Ampharos foil cards. This one's a reverse foil, but it's the e-reader style card from Expedition. I've never had graded Pokemon cards before, which means they look at the quality, how damaged or what good condition it is, and whatever, and give it a grade, and the higher the grade, the more it's worth, and whatever. Ampharos is one of my favorite Pokemon, and so I wanted to collect a few of these of the older sets, and I am super stoked. So now I have a 7 and an 8 of Neo Revelations and Expedition. We'll probably collect more in time, but they kept shooting up in price every time I was bidding on them. I only have so much money, but I am super stoked for that. Eventually, I'll have to get me one of those cases to store like graded cards or whatever. I originally was never going to bother like investing in them, but I think for one of my favorite Pokemon, I wanted to spend a little bit. Who grades them? A company called PSA for these specifically. There's also a new company now called Beckett. Well, they're not a new company, but they newly do that. Who is grading them as well. We have the CD for the Pokemon Play It card game. I honestly thought I had bid on the full thing with the cards and everything, so I'm gonna have to look into this. But this is the classic PC card game that I had as a kid, and the bigger set with it came with the first edition Machamp that everyone had a lot of. So pretty neat. But like I said, I thought I was bidding on the whole thing, so we will check that. It's just always cool collecting. Like, I have some other stuff I'll show off on the HoloQuest YouTube channel at some point. But it's always cool having Pokemon game things that aren't on Nintendo consoles, like on PC. Just kind of cool, because we don't get a whole lot of it anymore. Obviously, the TCGO still runs on PC, but... All right, final thing to open before we actually open some product is this product this package right here. And I believe these are sleeves that I ordered. Yeah, so even though most of my cards go in binders and you pretty much never see them, I am a huge fan, of fancy looking sleeves. I had some back when I was originally doing my big collecting in videos that were Nyan Cat back in like 2013. And these are some really cool Blastoise and Venusaur ice cream cone looking art. It's not actually ice cream cone. Those are the like Gigantamax clouds or whatever, but really cool sleeves. Can never have enough of these, and they look freaking awesome. All right. So we're going to open up the real product and save the mystery box for the end here. We're going to start with the first partner pack here. So these are a series, if you're unfamiliar, that they're running for the 25th anniversary. As part of the celebration, they released a binder with a Pikachu, and then they're doing packs each month going back to Gen 1. So next month will be Gen 2 of the starter Pokemon or the first partner Pokemon of each generation. And these are in jumbo size cards, although they have reduced the size of the jumbo size cards. They used to come out to like here. Obviously, these have no real purpose. These you cannot play. They are purely for collecting. They got the nice foil 25th anniversary badge, but it's purely for collecting and celebrating the 25th anniversary. But in the pack, wow, we only get 2 packs this time? I'm pretty sure with the previous ones we got 3 packs. That's weird. Oh, you get 2 packs of Pokemon cards. So we got a base Sword and Shield, and then one of the second newest set, Chilling Reign. Do you have the super big ones? Can I see? Yes, I do. Hang on. So, oh no! I hit some buttons and knocked something down. So this is the binder they released for the 25th anniversary that you put all of them in. So it came with the Pikachu, and then you add the different starters in there and whatever. These are the new size that they're rolling with. Before this, wow, that was a voice crack. Before this, is that the Elgato Wave LP? Yes, it is. They did a different size. So these are the bigger ones. If I pull out, actually yeah. So I have these in like big old 6x4 or whatever top loaders. These are the ones that used to come in the promo boxes. And you can see here, they're significantly larger. And then they started reducing the size. So they have released others like this that are the smaller size. But I don't know why they reduced it other than I guess to reduce cost or weight or whatever. But it's kind of weird having whole generations that are this bigger size. and then they switch size on me. So some of these go back a really long time. And then this gets into the newer, smaller size. But I have quite a few of these. And like I said, these are mostly completely pointless. I have kept them because why not? That Raichu is amazing though. They are purely display. You can mount them on your wall, do something cool with them. But you obviously don't play with them or anything. Probably something practical like shipping, mailing, or shelving. Yep. Just purely a celebration of the card. Alright, so we have 2 blisters here of the new set that just came out, Evolving Skies. They both come with the same Galarian, Farfetch'd, or Surfetch'd coin, so you get one of those. One of these will go in my donation pile, and it comes with 3 packs and the promo card. Yes, that was the Charizard from Detective Pikachu. It came in a big Charizard box. So here's the promo card we get. This is Ice Cube, Hollow Foil. It's got a Black Star promo down there. So these are a little harder to get because they only come in certain packs like this, but they're not necessarily worth more because they're promo cards. I didn't get the coin out. I just kind of threw it down and didn't get the coin out. Okay. Then we get the coin itself. So these are kind of amusing that they still distribute these because you can't play these. Actually, this one has big old scuff marks. That's weird. But traditionally, these came with like the theme decks I showed and stuff because as part of the mechanics of the game, at some point you do a coin flip, heads or tails, and that would determine a ruling. However, it's a little too easy to potentially manipulate a coin. Did all my audio die? Hello? 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 Oh, no. I muted the music at some point, though. I'm sorry. I don't know when I did that now. Sorry, we had a stream. I was doing a test stream of this layout a few days ago, and my microphone just died in the middle. Never figured out why. So I'm always paranoid that that happens again. But historically, they had coin flips in the game. However, it's a little too easy to manipulate a coin flip. And so they have moved to using dice rolls like D&D instead in place of the coin flip where like odds or heads, evens or tails or vice versa. But they still distribute the coins. Which is a little silly to me because you can't play with them at like official games, but you can still play with them at home, I guess. I have a whole tin to collect of these. We'll go ahead and get into our packs here. We are wrapping up today's stream. Technically, you can play them legally if made by Pokemon, but your opponent is allowed to ask you to roll a dice instead. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good to know. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the front. Pokemon dice win. They actually distribute those with the Elite Trainer boxes. And you can only use officially supplied by Pokemon dice in tournaments. I'm learning a lot about the card game because I'm going to try to learn to play and like get good at it and smash some fools. So, yeah. We got Grass Energy, Hippowdon, Tentacool, Rubber Gloves, Lillipup, Bagon. Don't let Bagons be Bagons. Litleo, Lotad, our reverse. Nope, Teddiursa. Our reverse is Ampharos. Yes! We got Ampharos! Perfect to go with our little hand soloed boys. And Noivern V. That is a very nice pull. This is, I guess, considered an ultra rare card here for this pull. We already have one of these. But we will sleeve it up regardless. Make sure it gets sent to a good home. Very nice. Wait, so you collect but don't play the game. So yes, historically, I mostly collect. Unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, which are primarily play-focused trading card games, Pokemon is historically primarily a collection-focused game. Like, they have the playing scene, which is primarily, like, a thing in North America, less so in Japan and stuff, so the Japanese sets are more focused on collecting aspects and stuff. People do still play. There are world championships and stuff, but it's more a North American thing than other areas sometimes. But historically, the... can I see Teddiursa again, though? There you go. Lovely. But historically, the cards are more for collecting purposes, for nostalgia and the like. And I played when I was a kid a little bit, but never like competitively, and I've always just collected. And so I'm finally getting into it and learning to actually play. Shopping Center, Eevee, Cutifly. And so that changes the values too, because Pokemon cards, they do have values that are determined based on their viability in the game. We have a reverse Rayhan. I don't think I have this yet. And rare, Milotic. They do have like values that fluctuate based on their viability in the card game itself, but most of the most of the value is based on collecting and rarity and things like that instead of play. Whereas with Yu-Gi-Oh, other than people who are just kind of now recently getting into collecting them for nostalgia's sake in the old sets and stuff, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, the card value is mostly determined by whether it's playable in the new metas and stuff. So, Rebel Walker 90 with the party of 1 raid. Thank you. Hope you're having a great Tuesday afternoon here. But yeah, growing up, most people did not really play Pokemon. It was mostly Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering, I didn't even hear about till I was in high school and never really got into it. We got a reverse Nick at Night, and Seismitoad is our rare. I don't think I've pulled that yet either. All right, so we're going to get into our second blister pack here. Again, comes with the sick Umbreon promo, which is what I'm super stoked for, and then 3 more packs that you can play. Yeah, and the cool thing about Pokemon is every once in a while, well, it's probably more than that, but like they do change like and alter and update the meta, the playability of certain cards over time. And so like there was a reprint of older Pokemon cards in a set called Evolutions. And they updated those cards to have the newer stats that would be more playable in the card game. But there are some cards that they haven't changed. And so you could still play like the original base set version of a card like Switch in with all your newer cards. And that's just really cool to me. There is the Hollow promo Umbreon. Very gorgeous art. Love the little star look in the background with the big old full moon there. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we got a coin that is in much better shape than our first one. Don't know what happened to that first one. That one got jacked up. This one looks nice and clean. We will put that in our collection tin, and the other one will unfortunately go to our donate pile. I'll talk about that more. I'm doing a big charity thing this year. Gonna try to make it a yearly thing. And I'm donating like thousands of Pokemon cards. And trying to raise some money. But I don't have any of it locked in on who's going to who yet, so I don't want to reveal anything until I have those details lined out just so I do it right. All right, so we got 3 more packs of Evolving Skies here. We're chasing the Rayquaza and some Evolutions. We did pull 1 Rayquaza last night when we opened up 2 booster boxes of the set, but we're still looking for some of the other alternate arts and things like that. All right, Fire Energy, Ribbon Badge, Lantern, Ursaring, Teddiursa, Mareep, Zorua, Tentacool, Hoppip, Lucky Ice Pop is our reverse, and non-hollow Drampaw the Grandpa. Another Teddiursa, yep. All right, let's do the Umbreon pack and then the Rayquaza pack and hope we get some good energies. Evolution or a Rayquaza is what we're after here. We already got the Rainbow Rare and the full art version of the Copycat card, which is one of my favorite cards yesterday. I'll show you that in a moment. It was an amazing pull from our booster boxes. I hope that was 4. I don't know that it was. It was. All right, Psychic Energy, Nuzleaf, Ice Cube, Skiploom, Feebas, Hippopotas, Lillipup, Nick at Night, our reverse. Nope, Bergmite. Our reverse is Flapple. Really dumb Pokemon. Don't like it at all. Our rare, Sylveon VMAX. We did it. Yes. This is not a secret rare. It's just a normal ultra rare, but we have not pulled this yet from the set, I don't believe. So this is one of the chases we were after. Very nice. Gorgeous card. It looks pissed. Sweet. All right, final Evolving Skies pack of the day. We'll save these Sword and Shield ones for later. Drop the air horns, fellas. Bah, bah, bah. Which probably means, because it looks like you get, yeah. So we talked about the code cards last night. We'll talk about them a different time. But it looks like out of these blisters, it seems like you're guaranteed a single, like, good pack out of the 3 here. This is a sample size of 2. That doesn't mean anything, but we had 2 duds and 1 good pull card from each of these blisters, which tells me that might be a guaranteed pull rate, which isn't amazing, but still all right. Elemental Badge is our reverse, and Pinsir non-hollow rare. All right, So our pulls from these packs are, of course, the Ice Cube and Umbreon promo holos. Then we also have, get them stacked up here, keep them in good condition. Elemental Badge Reverse, the Sylveon VMAX, amazing card here. Flapple, Lucky Ice Pop, Rayhan, and then Noivern V, and then of course the reverse rare Ampharos, because we gotta show some love to Ampharos. Gotta do it. All right, but our pulls from our stream from last night, by the way, the ones that I was super stoked for are these right here. So this is the original copycat card. Well, not the original. The original one was from the Gen 2 days, which is why it features the Gen 2 style clothing as the first icon here, and then the Marnie, Leon, and Chairman Rose characters are from the newer games. So this is like the base level of the card. But then we also pulled the full art version, which is by far my favorite because the art is just gorgeous. The colors just pop. They're amazing. And then we also got the Rainbow Rare Hyper Rare version, which is technically more rare, but you don't get the same colors as on here. So I'm actually more of a fan of this version. But we also pulled that, which was great. We got the Rainbow Rare Aroma Lady. And then we got our first gold card of this set, which is the Crystal Cave. It just looks, chef's kiss. So that was from last night, if you missed the stream. I'm gonna get a drink. We have one more card to open up here, or one more thing to open up here. So this is a mystery box created by the man himself, Leonhart. He is a Pokemon tuber. He does a lot of cool stuff on his channel. He has tons of money, so he does ridiculous unboxings that most of us can't even begin to compete with. But every few years, he does a mystery box where he throws in his own collection, including custom-made cards of him, which is whatever. I already have a couple of those. But there's also a chance for a PSA-graded card and a vintage pack. And this feels thickly packaged enough, and like I said, it's a bigger box, that there's a chance that we got that. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. This is, of course, made with the Golden Groundhog Company that does a lot of these mystery boxes you can buy on Amazon. They're kind of whatever. But this is also a good card storage box as well. I'm feeling positive about what's in here. There's probably nothing in here, but I'm feeling positive. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. Nope, no graded card. Damn it. All right, I was feeling confident. Of course, it's the bubble wrap that's misleading. Instead, we got some packs that we can check out. We got Chilling Rain. We got Leonhart's own booster pack, which may contain a vintage card, and then 2 packs of Battle Styles. So we will save these for future openings, but we are interested in this booster pack right here, because it could contain something of value. Most likely not, as I said, but I like getting my hopes up every once in a while. Is that okay? Congratulations. Whatever. So he has a couple specific to him cards he got made with an artist and stuff, which is pretty cool. Oh, I get a signed copy of it. I don't think when I opened my last one it was signed, so that's pretty cool. These have like a weird, like, soft texture to them. We get Hatterene, Scentiscorch, Krookodile, Dusknoir, Zapdos, Regirock, Pikachu V, and Duraludon V. So I don't think I have this Duraludon V, but I'm pretty sure all of these holos I pretty much already have. That's still a lot of holos. Like, you look at most of the usual mystery boxes or whatever, and you get like one reverse holo and a bunch of commons. So this is still not bad. The Duraludon V is new to me as well. I believe that's from Champion's Path. I don't have that yet, so that's pretty solid. But otherwise, mostly stuff from Vivid Voltage, Sun and Moon, and Champion's Path that I already have. But pretty nice. So there was a chance to get a base set Charizard in there as well as a graded card. I had my hopes up. We did not get that. That's okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this first episode of Stream Theory. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to join us on Discord, discord.gg/EposVox. Come chat with us about tech, streaming, improving your streams, Pokemon, whatever. Be sure to fill out the stream critique application if you like. Overall haul. I mean, we just walked through these, so that's it. We just walked through them. Boop, bloop, 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 bloop. Go check out our Discord. Go check out our merch, our sponsor Nerd or Die, our backing track music, my HoloQuest YouTube channel if you want more Pokemon TCG related content. Oh, like my overall thoughts on this mystery box. So it's about $40, which is a lot. You're of course supporting Leonhart, and I believe the money goes to specific charities. He does a ton of charity work, so I don't exactly have the details of that, but I believe it goes to charities. You're mostly buying it to get something from him, to potentially get his own fancy cards and apparently get a signed one. So if you're into YouTuber stuff, cool. But otherwise, the individual cards, this is not $40 worth of cards. So, But like I said, he does all this to raise money for charity and things like that. So I'm not super complaining. But if you're looking to, I actually have a whole video series I'm currently scripting for the HoloQuest YouTube channel of how to get into collecting and how to spend your money the most wisely when it comes to like mystery boxes and specific tins and things like that to get like, not necessarily, I mean, I'll bring that up as well, but not necessarily to min-max like how to get the best cards, but how to like have the best opening experience without feeling super disappointed when you spend a bunch of money. And so we'll be addressing these kinds of things and things like that as well, because I don't see a lot of that talked about. And so that may be my in to get more traffic to the HoloQuest channel. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me in today's stream. Hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow, all of that jazz. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Ooh-wee. I am supposed to have an outro, but I don't currently have one yet. So you get the old outro. Bye.